Now, I don't regret any of the past workouts that I've done, because if it wasn't for those, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. But if I could go back in time and work out with my 16-year-old self, here are the things that I would tell him to do differently. What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. So we're gonna go ahead and go back in time. Check out this young stud right here, 16-year-old David, right around 2017-ish, the high school years, the primitive years where you really take the time to find yourself, or in my case, you find the time to be obsessed with the gym, and then years later, that's all you have. It's all the gym gains. Pretty lean, I'm telling you. There's not really much to look at. I look back at these old photos and I'm like, damn, at that time I really thought I was the biggest guy on earth. I really thought I was the top dog. I really thought, you know what, no one's stronger than me, no one's leaner than me, no one's bigger than me. And looking at it now, I'm like, dude, that was 40 pounds ago. I was around like 130 there, 140-ish. Now, right now, I'm fluctuating anywhere between 170 or 180. Just look at the size comparison. I mean, it's a night and day difference. Years later, from 17 now to 24, I might not be the biggest person ever, but I am natural, I am injury free, have not had any surgeries, no major injuries, stayed consistent throughout the course of years. And look at what we got here, 40 pounds of difference of lean mass. Notice how I'm not overweight. I don't have a lot of body fat still to this day. The reason why I've been seeing so much of this progress is because I've taken everything from those years in high school, everything that I was doing wrong, all the mistakes I made, all the misinformation I was told, did away with it, and actually took the time to properly learn proper nutrition, proper training habits, everything that goes into actually seeing long-term progress in the gym, applied it, and boom, who would have thought? More gains. So that's what this video is going to be about. If I can go back in time and talk to this David and tell him, hey, stop doing this, start doing that, whatever it is, here are all the changes that I wish I would have known. Here are all the mistakes that I made so that you don't have to make them. This way you can see even more results, more muscle mass, more strength, leaner body weight. First things first, stop ego lifting, David. Come on, get your shit together. Stop loading up so much weight on the bar. I mean, come on, just look at this right here. Who in the right mind would look at that frame? Granted, I did think I was the biggest person on earth at that time. And you know what? I'm around 140 pounds. No big deal. Let's load up 475 pounds on the bar, wrap up your knees excessively tight with knee wraps that I had absolutely no business with using in the first place, squat onto a very high box, so not even going into depth, and be proud of that. It's ridiculous. The ego lifting needed to stop. I was like, where are the coaches telling me to stop doing this? Why did my workout partners actually encourage it? But granted, from the very beginning, I've always felt like I was pretty strong. Even for as far as ego lifting goes, a body weight of 140, having that much weight just on their back and being able to walk it out and actually squat at least a couple inches of quarter squat, I think it's still impressive to a certain degree. Was it stupid? Absolutely. But I've always known from the beginning, I feel like I'm a little stronger than I should be. So because of that, I've always gravitated more towards just free weight barbell lifts, primarily to squat, the bench, and deadlift. And even to this day, I still prioritize those three. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a power lifter because I don't compete like one, but I do train as if I am one just because I am that fascinated and that interested with the squat, the bench, and deadlift. But if I were to go back, I would definitely take the time to actually learn how to properly set up and how to perfect the technique on big compound power lifts. Not necessarily even squat, bench, deadlift, just any type of barbell movement, whether it be an overhead press, whether it be a bent over row, whether it be an RDL, just anything with a bar, knowing how to properly set it up and then knowing how to properly execute it. I wish I had taken the time even more so to do that, because I've been looking at some of these old training clips that I have, especially for things like the squat, just little things like not actually doing the squat themselves, but setting it up, like learning how to actually unrack the bar. Before I look at these old clips, I would unrack it by having one foot in front of the other. So essentially kind of like lunging the bar out of the J-cups and then walking it back, once I walk it back, I don't take the time to properly breathe and brace. And then when I go down, there'll be some reps where I'm just speeding through it up and down. Other ones, I'll actually take the time to catch my breath. It's just, it's too unorganized. That just wasn't the right way to go about it. Especially with the squats, it was always onto a bench, never going down to depth. It's just bad. The deadlift, I used to just not have a proper setup per se. My stance was really wide. I was essentially doing a deadlift with a squat stance. I wish I had taken the time to know that, hey, I need to narrow it down, sink my hips a little lower, straighten out those back, chest up, pack those lats in. I wish I would have taken the time to know, hey, don't just be bouncing the bar up and down off the ground. No, actually let the bar fully rest, reset yourself, and then pull to get that next rep. You see, there's just so many different exercises that I wish I would have taken the time to properly learn the technique. Maybe take a step back, lighten up the weight, perfect it, and then through that perfected form, slowly see the improvements in strength over time, instead of just roaring right off the gate, unloading 300, 400 pounds on the deadlift bar, up to 400, maybe even 500 pounds on a partial box squat. I wish I would have taken the time to just stop ego lifting. Looking back, that got me absolutely nowhere. I mean, years later, all those lifts that I was ego lifting on, I don't even do those anymore. So what good were they at the time? Probably just to impress everyone else in the locker room, to impress everyone else on all the other sports teams. But realistically, ego lifting, even to this day, what does it really get you? Validation? From what? From others? I'm here to live for myself. I'm here to see my own self-improvement. I couldn't care less about what other people think of me. If I did, I wouldn't even be doing social media in the first place. So if I could just go back and say, David, stop ego lifting. Second thing I would tell myself is, David, take a step back. Stop doing so much. Me, when I was 16, when I was in high school, amongst many others, we always had this mentality that more is better. No days off. Push yourself 100%. Even on weekends, 7 days a week. It was just simply too much. And it wasn't only the amount of days that we're doing, it's how many times per day were we working out. It just added up. I wasn't prioritizing my recovery. If I could go back, I will tell David, hey, take it easy. Take a little step back, actually focus on proper recovery. Okay, fine. If you want to keep pushing this hard, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not recovering enough. So during those days, I wouldn't say I was overtraining. I definitely feel like the amount that I was working on was okay. I just was, as ironic as it may seem, I was under recovering. The amount of workouts I was putting in each day for the number of days in the week, because it was even going into the weekends, that wasn't the issue. When I got home, I wasn't taking enough time to actually sleep the amount that I was. For how small I was, but for the amount of weights that I was lifting, the amount of mass that I had was not enough. I wasn't eating enough to actually fuel these workouts. I wasn't drinking enough water. At the time, I thought I was, but looking back on it, one small peanut butter and jelly sandwich during lunch is not going to fuel you enough to ego lift 475 on a box squat. No. I wish I would have taken the time to actually know about proper nutrition. I would have packed better lunches, more chicken and rice, ground beef, just more solid meals. I wish I would have done that sooner. Eventually, I did. Closer to junior or senior year, I actually started prepping better meals. Pastas with ground beef, chicken and rice, tuna, actually good sources of protein, a lot more carbs, homemade protein shakes, just more calories. But I remember those freshman and sophomore years, the beginning part of high school, it was just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. If you wanted to spice things up, ham sandwiches, maybe a little banana here and there, but I just simply wasn't eating enough to fuel and give me the calories that I need to actually allow me to have the energy to push hard during these workouts. When I got home, I wasn't getting the right amount of hours of sleep to actually recover for the following day. Because just to put things in perspective, this was the schedule. I played football and track, and the harder ones were always during spring semester, track season. Because although, yes, I was in season for track, it was the off season for football. So imagine trying to balance out both workouts. The way it was, because for some reason, our coach always felt the need that we have to have 6 a.m. morning lifts. I don't know why we have to wake up that early. Why can't we just get the workouts done at 7 a.m. instead, or during our actual 6-period time block, but whatever. So it would be 6 a.m. workouts, so 6 to 7, hitting the weight room. That is a weight room. Gains, weights, resistance, iron for football. Keep in mind, that's going to be a big thing. Then 7, 8 hours later of just pure classroom, getting the work done, math, science, English, all these stuff that you never end up even applying in the first place outside of high school. Then sixth period, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, track season. That was my actual track workout. And for the record, I threw the shot put. So I used to practice throwing one of these, put it up on your neck. And so imagine throwing this around, which wasn't as fatiguing, especially considering the fact that we never really had a coach for shot put. So it was just more of whatever I felt was needed at the time. So it was just literally a whole hour of just practicing throwing and practicing technique. Not too fatiguing overall. It wasn't too bad. That was from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we'll go ahead and hit the weight room again. But now it will be the workout for track. And oftentimes the girls sprinter coach, who at the time was also one of the DB coaches for football, he would take us in and put us through a workout, a football off-season workout to get us going. It was more of a conditioning. He did a lot of circuits. So imagine doing a whole 1 hour of just pure circuit exercises, but with heavy weight. Doing that for a full hour, and then that takes us to 4 o'clock. Now from 4 to 5:30 or 4 to 6, now we got the on-field practice for football. So now we're doing our position-specific drills. Now we're doing our conditioning. We're out on the field. We're running. So you take that many hours of just nonstop exercise, nonstop workouts, nonstop practice, Monday through Friday. You don't think it's gonna take a toll? No way I was getting enough sleep, because when I go home, I still got homework to do. I still got to eat dinner. I still got to study for whatever test is coming up tomorrow. I wasn't getting enough sleep to properly recover from all these workouts that I was doing. During the day, I wasn't eating anywhere near as many calories as I needed to push me through those 4 workouts that essentially I had to do every single day. So again, if I were to go back, I will tell David, recover, prioritize that rest. If you want to continue to work out that much because you genuinely enjoy it, which I did, all right, yes, go for it. Just make sure you prioritize that recovery. Take little naps here and there throughout the day if you can. Let's be honest, some of us, we slept during class, but hey, those naps really came in clutch. Eat more snacks throughout the days, better meals, chicken, rice, higher amount of protein, excessively high amounts of carbs, because I was burning through them like that. So I actually wish I ate even more carbs. Drink more water, drink enough electrolytes, because you're gonna be sweating out in the sun with all the field workouts. I just wish I went back and prioritized that recovery even more so. And lastly, if I were to go back to 2017, I'll tell David to do a little more research and know a little bit better training style. At the time, I was doing the typical bro split. I was doing chest, back, legs, delt, arms. Okay, which as a beginner, there's really nothing wrong with that. You're still hitting every muscle group. But after going years of college, doing a little research on my end and trying things out for myself, you come to the realization and you see the research that proves that, okay, maybe you should start training everything at least twice a week. You take that type of split, you're really only hitting legs once a week. Your triceps are really getting overworked, because you're working triceps when you bench press on chest day. You're working your triceps when you shoulder press on delt day, and you're working your triceps obviously directly on arm day. But you got all these other muscle groups that are only being trained once. You got essentially 4 days of upper body work, but you only got 1 day of lower body work. I just wish I would go back and I would have changed the frequency of how often I was training each muscle group. I would have changed the split. I would have done something more along the lines of, let's just say, an upper lower type of split, or a push pull legs but done it twice per week, so 6 days a week. Or I would have done push pull legs, upper body, lower body, so like a 5-day split. I would have done something more along the lines of training everything at least twice per week, instead of just 1 leg day per week, but making it an excessively long 2 to 3 hour squat session. Because I always used to think, oh no, I'm gonna hit the legs hard once a week. I literally used to say things like, if you can hit legs twice a week, you probably didn't hit it hard enough the first time. Looking back on it, that was just complete nonsense. I wish I would have taken the time to actually study a little bit better, a more, appropriate training methods, so that way I could have seen results a lot better. Because by no means was I out of shape. Yes, I was getting results. I mean, if you look at the old photos from back then, I was very lean. I was still very small, didn't have a lot of mass, but you could definitely see the muscle definition, because at least whatever little muscle mass I did gain, it was lean quality mass. But what would have happened if I would have just changed the frequency? How much more results could have gotten during that time? Where would that have put me up until now? Because again, now 40 pounds later, yeah, because I applied everything that I know works, and I did away with all the nonsense that I was doing back then. But you know what? At the time, we didn't have anyone to tell us what to do any differently. just barely starting to look up on YouTube and what do I do? Like, what are the best splits? So, you know, you're just trying to research whatever it is that you can find. And at the time, I was watching more stuff along the lines of like, you know, like Rich Piana, Athlete X, all the guys like that during this time, like 2015 to like 2018-ish, around that time frame. So just taking what I could try to find and learn from them and then apply to myself, see what did work, keep it. If it didn't, all right, do away with it. But man, that training frequency, that training split, if only I knew. But you know what? It's some mistakes like that that you learn from, and hopefully learn from those mistakes and apply the changes to get you even further from where you once were. So there you have it, everyone. 3 things that I would tell my younger self to see even more results. Avoid these mistakes. Stop the ego lifting, prioritize the recovery, switch up the training frequency. If I would have addressed those 3 things at a younger age, I don't know if I would have been where I'm at right now. I don't know if I would have been seeing more progress, but for sure, it was all 3 big mistakes that I made when I first started early on. 3 mistakes that I want you all to avoid as well. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Comment down below any of the mistakes that you've made and you have learned from that you want all beginner gym goers to avoid, to help them see a lot more progress in the beginning stages than you would have made had you have started that way. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you miss on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.